The way I work with awareness is making us aware of the glasses we're looking at the world through. Many times we're saying, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that. Reality is that if you were to, instead of time, use the glasses and just put a different pair of glasses on and say, I don't have life for that. If you were to put the word life in instead of time, you'd get a totally different priority. The thing is that we're all looking at life through certain glasses, certain perception. If you look at these two tabletops, just look at the tabletops, you see them as very different size, at least if your eyes is somewhat similar to mine. And actually, what I'm going to show you now is that they are actually exactly the same size. Like, if we put this one over here, yeah, can you see that? Is that coming through? Then we could take the same and move over here.
Yeah.
And that was not what we perceived. If you're looking at this guy, these two guys, you're going to see one of them is much, much bigger than the other one.
Yeah.
And actually, that's because you're putting them in perspective. If you were not putting them in perspective, you only had the two guys, and you, would, for example, would focus on just the bellies, they'd end up being the same size. We do that very often with life, in life with problems we have. We're saying, oh, this is the same. And actually, it might be a much smaller variation of it we're experiencing, but we tend to react as if it's the same. The things that I see that people are struggling with, that is really not seeing things the way that they are. They are having misconceptions, they are having expectations about that other people are in a different way that they really are, that they themselves should be in a different way that they're not. That they are in denial about the situation, and also a lot of lack of contact with their body, really. Is that I help people to find the cause. I guide people to find the perceptions, the beliefs, and the ideas that actually limits them in life, and how, and I guide them to actually transform them into creative energy. When I was 21, my health broke down. I was really tired. I slept like 12 hours a day. I was tired the rest, and sometimes I wouldn't really wake up before in the afternoon. My memory got bad, my digestion was bad, I lost weight, I was down to, 45 kilos. That would be like 100 pounds, and I'm 5'2", so it's not a lot. You could see every bone, you didn't need to have x-ray vision. You could see that.
I gave you my special gift. Here they were.
You wouldn't need that. And I was really not doing well. And my cognitive skills was going down. Like, I mean, when people would talk to me, it would be like, it took a while for me to find an answer. And when I found the answer, I couldn't remember what it was I was answering. It was really feeling bad. I went to the doctor, no diagnosis, no help. And as you said, but psychologically, I kept treating myself as I've done the last couple of years, because I was still like, oh, I'm weak, I have to have special care. I was stuck in this mental thing about not being strong. And then I started meditating too, and somehow I was blessed with this phenomenal spiritual experience, where after meditation I laid down and I rested, and everything was just quiet, really quiet. There was no thoughts, there was no feelings, there was no images in my mind. It was just totally peace. And after a little while where I just enjoyed that state of mind, it came to me, oh, this must be the place to find out of what is causing my life to be the way it is, because I was dead scared of becoming sick again and not knowing what to do. And I had hardly asked that question before I became aware of three-dimensional shapes, forms floating around in my consciousness.
I know that. I know about this place.
Yeah, and I looked into them. And when I saw them, when I looked into them, I focused on them, I also identified with them, and all of a sudden there was feelings, there was thoughts, there was images, and I realized this is like beliefs or ideas or whatever you want to call them. And I just realized, well, those I can take them or leave them. I'm free to do that. So then I played a little bit, and then I threw all of them out. And put the question out, well, if I throw all of these out, what then will be determining my life? And I got to a deeper layer where there was several of these forms that were stuck together in like clusters. You could sort of say personality aspects and whatever. And then I got rid of a couple of those, probably some of the sickness mentality, because I don't think it was there afterwards. And I got rid of a couple of those, and then I kept going. If all those goes out, what then? And I reached a much deeper level. Anyway, that is what my work today is based on. That is that understanding. Not that people necessarily get to see them from outside, because that really doesn't matter. But what matters is to actually be able to experience them from inside and be able to make a choice. And we all can make that choice. We all have that power. We are all immensely strong creators. And an example of how I would help people to discover the glasses they're looking the world through is very simple. That I can do it with you right now. So if you just look around and see whatever attracts your attention in the room. What was it? What was it you were attracted to?
A tree across the street. That's what I was looking at.
That's what you were looking at. So what was it about the tree that attracted your attention?
The vibrancy, the shape, the colors.
Mm-hmm. And what do you associate that with? Vibrancy, shape, colors?
Life.
Life, yeah. So this is just showing that right now you've just been talking about vibrancy and life in the psoas muscle. And what happens is that's the glasses you're looking at the world through right now. So what do you see? You see what you pick whatever object reflects that.
That's really good, Kristiane.
That's where your focus ends up being. And this is how this happens for us all the time. It's the most accurate way of deciding where is my focus. It's not where I think it is. It's actually just look around. What is attracting my attention? And then backing off for a second and saying, what about that thing attracted my attention? That way we can become aware of where our focus is. I mean, we've all heard about the law of attraction, that whatever we focus on becomes real. But the key is that we don't know what we focus on most of the time, because at least 90% of our focus is just run by our unconscious. It's only about 10% that's run by our conscious. And those 90%, they kind of like just keep going on, and they run our life without us being conscious about it. And by doing this a very, very little simple thing, we can become more conscious. So I invite you to explore that little exercise. Our perceptions are totally unique. And once we can really get that, we also get how unique we are as people. And we also get why we sometimes have troubles with other people, because we think they see it the same as we do. And they don't. Sometimes we have we can have like 20, 30 layers of glasses that we're looking at the world through, and that kind of keeps interchanging and determining our experience. And once we can start lifting off those glasses, we can have a totally different experience in life.